Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to talk about products that I personally cannot stand, cannot get on board with, that I feel like everyone else loves, and I can't get on board with them. So let's just go ahead and dive right in because I feel like this video just doesn't need that much of an introduction. Some of the stuff I have on hand, some of the stuff I don't have on hand, so whatever I have, I'll hold up. Whatever I don't have, I'll put a picture over here, and that's just how we'll do it. So the first thing I want to talk about, I feel like y'all are probably sick of hearing me bash on because I talk about this mascara and how much I hate it on a very constant basis. And that is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I cannot get on board with this mascara, and I don't see how people like it at all. Like, it's not even so much the formula that I don't like. I don't hate the way it looks on my lashes, but it falls all over my face, and I know I'm not the only one that has this issue. So I just don't know how people are kind of like ignoring the fact that they get a shit ton of fallout from a mascara when there are mascaras out there that look the same on the lashes and don't do that. Like, I don't understand. So the next products are the Wet n Wild new Color Icon eyeshadow palettes. I feel like everyone is raving about these palettes, and honestly I kind of feel like they love them so much because they're inexpensive, which I feel like isn't fair. I am not the kind of person that is gonna go easier on a product just because it's inexpensive. Like, I don't care if I paid $4 for it, if I paid $40 for it. If it doesn't perform amazingly on the eyes, then it's not worth it. I don't care how much I paid for it. I don't care how cheap it is. If it's not good, it's not good. And if it's not impressive, it's not impressive. And that's how I feel about these. They are not that impressive. The pigmentation is not there. They are blendable, but the pigment isn't there. So it's like, what's the point of having a formula that's really easy to blend if you have to sit there and build up and build up and build up and just constantly pack it on to make it work? Now, obviously, there are a few in here that weren't terrible, like the gold in Not a Basic Peach blew my socks off. This shade right here is one of the most beautiful, creamy, intense shades I've ever seen, and I love it. So I'm not saying that every single shade in these palettes are awful, but not enough of them are amazing to make it worth it. And I feel like the pops that you would want to be really intense that would kind of make it worth it just aren't there. Like, the blue in this palette is nothing. I had to build it up like 6 times to be able to see it. The Rosé in the Air, which everyone is saying is a dupe for the Modern Renaissance, which, I mean, in the pan, yeah, it definitely looks like it's a dupe for the Modern Renaissance. This pink right here looks like it would be intense and beautiful, and it's just not. It's like this sad little wash of color. So I was not impressed by these. I don't think they're worth it, and I don't care that they're $4.99. They're not impressive shadows, and that's all that matters to me. The next product is a foundation that I feel like everyone loves. Like, I have never heard one person say that they didn't like this foundation, and it is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. I don't like it. I don't see how people like it. It's so dry and powdery on the skin. Can you not? I can't get over the fact that it smells like straight paint. Like, it smells like I just walked into Home Depot. It's ridiculous, and it doesn't have enough coverage. It's way too easy to look streaky. Like, that whole foundation just is not good, and I don't understand how people like it. Next product is another eyeshadow palette, and it is the Tarte Clay Play Volume 1 palette. Now, I will say this smells delicious. It smells like chocolate. It's great. But literally every time I go to use this, I remember why I don't like it. It just, the shades don't blend that well together. They look really, really muddy, like 2 shades in the crease, and all of a sudden you've got this muddy disaster that cannot be fixed. I was not impressed by this palette whatsoever, and I don't understand why people rave about it. I really don't. Next up, we have another foundation, and that is the Hourglass Stick Foundation. People rave about this foundation. People with dry skin rave about it. People with oily skin rave about it. People with every skin type under the sun rave about it. And I don't know why, because I tried it and it was extremely dry. It caked up so quickly. It looked awful on my acne. Like, it was a hot mess. I don't understand. I don't understand how people make it work. I don't get it. I really don't. I was so surprised by how much I did not like that foundation because I expected to love it. Next up, we have the Wet n Wild Color Icon Blushes. I feel like I'm kind of hating on Wet n Wild today, but it's not my intention. I love a lot from Wet n Wild, like a lot. But these blushes, I feel like people give so much amazing reviews of. That was not correct grammar. People love these blushes, and I'm not super impressed, honestly. I don't find them to be very pigmented, which, I mean, I do enjoy blushes that aren't very pigmented, but I also find that they just don't blend out whatsoever. I kind of like put it on and it just sits there and then I can't move it anywhere. I don't understand. Again, this is one of those products that I feel like people rave about because they're inexpensive, and I just don't think that's fair. One of my favorite blush formulas are the LA Girl Just Blushing blushes. These are cheaper, if not the same price as the Wet n Wild ones, and this formula is 10 times better than Wet n Wild. They blend out so easily. They are a little bit more pigmented and a little bit more powdery, but just the blendability of these makes it for me. And this is one of those products that, yes, it's inexpensive, but I would not be able to tell that it's inexpensive. Like, I'm not saying, oh, well, it's good for the price, so go out and get it. These are just amazing quality in general. Okay, and then the last product I actually keep sitting on my vanity because it's so pretty, and that is the Fenty Beauty Uncensored Stunna Lip Paint. People rave about this. Like, people are obsessed with it. And, I mean, yeah, it's a pretty color, but this formula is honestly awful. It is thin and runny. I'm sorry if you can hear noises. My dog is sitting right next to me, like, squeezing on a ball, and it's squeezing air out. This formula just gets everywhere. It bleeds so much. It never sets down, which makes it really comfortable, but it also makes it impossible to go about your daily life. I tried blotting this. I tried wearing a lip liner with it. Nothing works. Nothing keeps it in place, which just I'm not okay with. Like, for this intense of a red, I need it to lock into place and not move, because this is one of those shades that if it moves and it's obvious and you look like a crazy ass clown. Like, it's just, for this kind of color, I need the product to just like lock in and stay where I put it, and this just doesn't do it, and it just makes it uncomfortable, and I feel self-conscious when I wear this because I know that at some point it's going to end up somewhere outside of my lip and I'm going to look crazy, and that just makes me really uncomfortable wearing it. So I don't. I put it on my vanity, I have it look pretty, and that's what it does. Okay, so those are all of the products that I personally don't like, that I feel like everyone loves. Now, obviously, I did not mean this video in any sort of negative way. If you love these products, that's great. If you found a way to make them work, that's fantastic. I'm not saying anything that's wrong or that you should change your mind about them. Like, everyone has different preferences. Makeup is very personal, so don't attack me if I talked badly about one of your favorite products. That's just how makeup works. Some people like stuff, some people hate stuff. So, I hope you guys liked today's video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!